Now you have to accept it.
Great. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I am Mahbub. I'm a volunteer from the School of Entrepreneurship Development. So this is basically the webinar we call Meet the Global Leader. Through this webinar, we invite speakers, expert people from around the world to share their life stories, their professional lessons, and to inspire youths by sharing advice from their life. So today we invited Lily. She is a very expert on sales, and through her professional life and journey, we believe that our youths, especially university-going students who are our main audience, they can learn different things from her professional journey. So Lily, welcome to our session.
Thank you, Mahbub, so much. Thank you for inviting me. I would like to start with two questions. How many of you here who will watch this video are willing to learn something new? Please answer that question to yourself. Are you willing to learn something new? And the second question that I have is, are you willing to listen carefully? Because that's what you have to do in order to learn something new. I would like to introduce myself first and share a little bit of my personal story, how I started in sales and how I founded my own company and business. My name is Lily Mizani. I am an international sales coach. I work in different countries with different people, and my career started actually 20 years ago. So I was 18. Today I will be turning 38 soon. So 20 years ago, I was looking for a job as a student to be able to pay the tuition for my university. I wanted to pay the fees, and I was looking for a job. And I started working in a call center where I would phone up people and companies to talk to. And over the past 20 years, I've been doing more than 17,000 cold calls. So that's a lot of cold calls for me doing outbound. And when I finished studies, I've been studying business administration and business psychology in Germany and the US. I received my diploma and I started to work full-time in a sales career. That was like 13 years ago. And I worked in different IT, tech, AI companies. And then after a while, after a couple of years, I decided that this is boring. I need something major to happen and I want to have a change. I quit my job. And that was back then a very outrageous thing, because first of all, I come from a very conservative family. So you study and then you work your entire life in a very good job and everything is like programmed. You must study, you must be successful, you must marry, you must do this, that. Like, it's very conservative. So me going crazy, everyone thought that's outrageous. Also, from a society point of view, that's also outrageous because that's what society dictates. So you have to study, get a good job, be safe, and, you know, just do that thing and then go up the career ladder. So not only did I quit my job, I packed my backpack and I went straight to India. And I was traveling in India, and then sometime I was sitting at the Ganga River and I was meditating. I had a beautiful idea of starting my own business. That was a different idea. So I started that business and I was working in a coach in a startup hub. And one day the lady said, can you do, you're an expert in sales. Can you do like some type of seminar for other startups? And I said, well, yeah, I have the knowledge I can share. I'm happy to share. If this helps somebody, I'm happy to share. So for 6 months, I would not charge nobody, really nobody, and I would just teach and train people in sales. The results were amazing. The results were amazing to an extent that word of mouth would spread and people come back and hire me as a sales coach. And so one of the first companies that hired me was a company that belongs to SAP. I mean, that's a big deal. People would fight and, you know, put so much work into getting a client like that. But they came and approached me and said, hey, Lily, do you want to coach our startups? So that was the foundation of hardcore sales. You see it, where based on my rules and my values, I said, this is how I understand sales, and this is how I want to do sales. So my whole life, everything changed over the past few years. I started hardcore sales, it expanded. So today I'm teaching and training and coaching a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, medium-sized companies, but also large corporates such as Telefonica or Microsoft. You've all heard of Microsoft, are my customers internationally. So and I travel all over Europe, and actually the international, like let's say US and Asian and everything, I do that most of the time online. But yeah, so this is what I'm doing so far. And I do that with a lot of passion and with a lot of love. When I talk about sale, most people get triggered. They say, oh my God, sales is like, oh, you're the people. And by the way, it's everywhere around the globe the same. So maybe the US think Germans are like that, and Germans say, oh, the US know how to sell. And then the US say, the Asians know how it works. But let me tell you one thing. Sales is always a negative trigger to most of the majority of the people, to humanity.
That's true.
Everyone has at some point made like a very negative experience about sales. So is it okay if I share the definition of sales, how I work and how my students work? Is that okay if I share that with you?
That would be really great. And just to point out that the thing that you mentioned, people say sales here in most cases in Bangladesh is like they will like entice us with like so many good and sweet talk and sell like the low quality products and solution. So this is like here people say salesmen are, they talk, they don't talk the truth, like so they want to like do some magic and sell the low quality product, low price product in high price. So yeah, it's called, please.
So see, that's culturally like everywhere almost the same. So let me share my screen and share just 1 second with you the real definition of sales and how we understand it. So the real definition of sales is, let me read it out loud for you. A salesperson is an individual who is skilled in effective communication, product knowledge, people handling, who has a high integrity and honesty level, who would not sell something a client does not need or would not increase a client's success, prosperity, or happiness, who is disciplined, friendly, trustworthy, and who works to do the greatest good for the greatest number of people. A green zoner can be trusted. And the source is the Knowledges and Dictionary by Alan C. Walter. So what does that mean? An individual who is skilled in effective communication. So you must have the skill of effective communication, and or you build up that skill, because you have to be in the position to talk, to listen, to ask the right questions. Then you should have a good product knowledge. You should be able to handle people. But in my eyes, in my view, the most important sentence is, who works to the greatest good for the greatest number of people, which means you are at service. So let me share something with you. Like when I close a deal, obviously I'm making money. That's good for me. And I provide my customer a service, a solution that he or she needs, which puts value to them, which is also a win. However, I want 3 parties to win at least. So it's win, my customer, and then usually I donate a large amount of money. So I donated, for instance, to a school in Bangladesh a few years ago. You can see that actually on my website, where the kids were painting my logo as a sign of gratitude that I was sharing with them. I donate a lot of money to the forest. So I have in different countries, in the African countries, a company that I work with, they plant trees, and they do that in Thailand. And when the war was in Ukraine, I donated money to the children of Ukraine. And I do a very good due diligence. Like I really make sure the company really works. I mean, the money arrives at the school or the trees are planted, right? So I make sure that the money arrives. But here's the thing. It must be, whatever we do as a salespeople, it must be for the greatest good, for the greatest number of people. As many people must win as possibly can. So that is the real definition of sales. It never says lie. It doesn't say, well, you really don't have to be honest. That's okay. Or just tell the customer the software has features where it doesn't have the features. It doesn't say all that. It says you must be trustworthy. So that is the basis and foundation of our work. So do you have questions so far, Mahbub?
No, the thing is,
No.
like, yeah,
I
right
can't
now,
hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay, great. So based on that, yes, I have no question right now. But the thing is, like going forward, that I have series of questions. But one thing you have said, it's there is a book called The Greatest Salesman on Earth.
Armandino.
Yes, and if anyone, like when people, like I said, hear this name or yet it's a salesmanship, or salespeople, sales executive. The thing is, instantly, why it instantly hit them? Because like there are so many, I must say, sales person, truly speaking, in the street, who are telling lies to them, provide them the low quality product, like I said. Also, maybe people have negative mindset on, because they compare salesmen, the salesman of a showroom of clothing brand maybe. So the thing is, most of the time they saw the color of this product, of the shirt or t-shirt, it's like forever, it's eternal. But when they go home and wash it for one time, there is no color on the t-shirt. So the thing is, because of these activities and their life experiences, some people think, like salesmen, they are to talk, tell them, they are always telling the lies.
Yeah.
But the main thing is they don't understand. It's because there is less, programs or maybe seminars on what is salesmanship or what is sales. And, like you can connect the thing that you said. It's about, like you practice a lot of social activities personally. So why? Because salesman, it's a lifestyle that we have been told, like, yeah, it's not that we are salesmen for a company, and in personal life we are who we are. But what we have learned is salesman, it's a lifestyle, like we have to practice. It's a whole lifestyle, a personal and professional life. We have to follow a lot of things. If I am a salesman, I have to be a salesman. So the thing is, it's like the point you have to share. It's like, like it's a different thing. I mean, we are going to learn. So the thing is, like I would like to know about, the thing that you said, that you're also involved with like donating. So how did it start? I mean, it's not like a one-day job. Like, if you can share a little bit of your university life, what motivated you to start your career in sales? If you can share the story.
Okay, so first of all, I said that I come from a conservative family. Everyone is a doctor. Everyone is a physician in my family. So obviously, And I'm originally from Iran. So actually, ever since I was a child, my mom would say, you become a dentist, you become a dentist, you become a doctor. Like, you know, she would like, and she, by the way, does the same with my nieces. Like, oh, you must be a doctor when you're like, you know, because it's well respected. So the first stuff, like the kind of fights or arguments started when I said, well, I don't want to be a doctor. And I started studying business administration. And then she was like, well, okay. But then they thought I will get into some type of a well-respected position. But when I came up, like, and I was working in corporates with big brands and I was successful, right? But when I started my own company, that was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? You're ruining yourself and your life. And the motivation I had was, as you say, we choose our profession for lifestyle. Because we love the big cars, because we love, like, for instance, yesterday I was talking to a person, a manager from Mercedes, and he said, in Germany, the culture is very typical that when you start in sales, you have a Mercedes or a BMW as a car, even if you're a junior sales. So, I mean, people love to have a big car. They want to make good money. They want to go out and socialize. They want to go to all the fancy places where you, like, a normal person could never pay, right? But it's because it's corporate money. They can spend the money. So I initially started with that. And then also the trips, like I was working for a US company. Back then, I was like 10 years ago. And they would invite me to Las Vegas, like, you know, Las Vegas, like that was crazy. So you start obviously this profession for the lifestyle. You started for a lifestyle, and also you basically, you have a lot of passion. And one thing that our profession, it's a good and a bad thing at the same time, is especially like here, I don't know what's like in Bangladesh, but you don't have to have an academic background. Like, sometimes you find somebody, he was a farmer, or he was or she was a waitress, or something like that, or was a mechanic for the cars. And then something happened. They started in sales in the business. So, and there is a lot of leverage because you can make a lot of money with sales. You can build actually a fortune. So the thing is, you don't have to be studied. You don't have to go to university to have this job and to make a lot of money. So it's also the easiest way to get into economy and into business and playing the business game, even though you have not studied or you didn't have good grades at university. So that's a good and a bad thing at the same time, because there is no filter. I mean, everyone can come and try. Good for us, all of us, but at the same time, there is no filter. So literally everyone comes, and then things happen, like you said, like they come, they might not be honest, and then our reputation is kind of ruined. So it's up to us to really be honest and to share this knowledge and to be really people of integrity once we are associating with our customers, so they can really rely on us. That's at least how I see it.
Yeah, definitely. And can you also relate that it's about, you know, like sales, it's about, it takes a big leap in our life, because, you know, like, say, for example, we are friends, and if I work for a company from tomorrow, say, for example, you might be a potential customer, but the next day, as a salesperson, if I go to you and selling something, a product or solution, but sometimes some people, it's like the practices in here is like, oh, they feel shy, you know, like to share that, oh, would you like to buy, or is there any need of this product or solution right now to you or the company you're working for? So sometimes from my perspective, I think it's like it's a very simple thing. It's like a communication. in a right and articulated way. But the thing is communicating with the person if there is any need, and also for companies. So if someone like, yeah, we can yeah, it is different because like having a degree or not, because here it depends country to country, I believe, because here education, at least a minimum education is needed, like to become, because otherwise people sometimes they think, they talk like, oh, what is your degree of education, so the thing is, most of the cases they judge on that this person is trustworthy or how knowledgeable he or she is. So the point is there anything like, like in most cases people say like here, when there is no job, sales job is for you. If like no other job for you, you can go for sales. It's like the last man standing. It's like this is the last thing you can do if you failed in every other sector. So why people think like that? I mean, you can also relate, if you can share from your life, how you can, like in our personal life as well as in our professional life, how we are using the skills, sales skills, to like do some, like personal, for personal, in our personal life.
Okay, so I mean, sales is like life is a pitch, right? You have to pitch at every corner. Like, no, like we work all day, obviously, especially us in sales, we sell. But then even if you want to a job in accounting, even if you are an engineer, you're a sales guy or girl. Why? Because you apply for a job, and as soon as you have an interview, you are selling yourself to the customer, to the corporate that you want to work with. Even though you're an accountant, you are saying, please hire me because I am the accountant who could do the job. So that's the sales conversation. That's one thing. The other thing is we have all day, every day sales conversations with ourselves. Like imagine you have a beautiful piece of cake in front of you, and one part of you says, I want to eat that cake. It looks amazing. And the other part says, no, I shouldn't eat the cake because maybe it's not healthy. So you are having a sales conversation with yourself. The question is, what part of you is now winning? So even the conversations that we're having with ourselves is sales. But also, like, let's say in personal life, imagine you would meet tonight your friends, and one of your friends says, hey, let's go to have pizza. And you go, no, let's go and have some other dish. Let's have some rice. So who wins? It's like, are you selling them to eat rice, or are they selling you to eat pizza? And also, like, let's imagine, for instance, marriage, right? I don't know what's like in your culture, but I come from originally from Iran. So when a man sees a woman that he wants to marry, the whole family of the man goes to see the girl and ask for permission. Oh, by the way, it's the same in India, right? Because I watched in the Bollywood movies, I could believe that it's kind of similar with you. Like, is it? Like,
yeah, I mean,
family.
it differs, but in most cases, whether it is arranged, in case of arranged, yeah, the whole family, um, go and sees bride family. They do some inquiries,
Yeah. So that's sales. That's like negotiation. That's if you leave aside all the emotions and, oh my God, I'm gonna get married, because I'm married, like I had all these type of emotions, but just leave that aside and try to look at it from a very analytical perspective. It's a sales transaction. People come, negotiate. The product is not, I'm selling you an iPhone or earpods, but the parties are selling each other to each other. And as you said, there are inquiries, there are requirements. Yeah, that's a sales transaction. So, I mean, everything is sales, right? So you must be able to sell yourself in the best way so you achieve your target, even no matter if it's personal or professional. That's at least how I see it.
That's true. And also, like, the steps we follow basically here in the practice in our in my work, that like that is very simple. I mean, if people see the sales steps of selling process, like prospecting and like building relationship, identifying the needs, and then go for the presentation what you have, and negotiate and follow up, execute the facts they are agreed on, execution. So the thing is, it's whenever when I first heard this and learned about it, it immediately hit in my mind that, oh, it's in my personal life, it's everywhere, every person is using it, so the thing is, people are practicing the same thing. It's just like sometimes it's for their personal life, it's and sometimes they are representing a company or something like that. So the point is, I mean, in that case, did you have a mentor when you started? And did you have a role model when you started? If yes, how did you chose your mentor, and who was your role model?
That's a very good question. So I recommend, no matter what type of skill you want to learn, always look for a teacher. Always look for a mentor, always look for a senior person, somebody who is there where you want to be. I'm not talking about titles. Like, let's say when I started in corporate, I had a mentor. He was also a sales rep. He was very, very experienced, and he helped me a lot. He was my mentor. Then I had a head of sales, and this man, he had not gone to a customer's place. He had not pitched for more than 5 to 10 years. But he was saying, but I'm your boss. You have to listen to me. I'm like, yes, you have the title. And in the hierarchy, you are above me. But you didn't go to see a customer. You haven't pitched for like ages. So how can I listen to you? This is just a title. So what I ask you to do is don't go with titles and positions. Go with people who don't go with people who just talk. Go with people who are where you want to be. So when I understood this, I stopped taking feedback from other people. I just listened to people where I knew they are where I want to be. And then the other thing is that the student always looks for the teacher. So the student must select his teacher. And for me, my mentors and coaches, where I'm regularly getting coached from, are 2-3 people. I'm going to name 2 or 3 because there are a lot. I have like 8 coaches, NLP, communication, everything. Yes. But the 2 who had a major impact on my life were Blair Singer. Blair Singer, he is a US-based coach. Blair is he's the sales god. I learned so much from Blair Singer, and the other gentleman is called Raul Riviera. And Raul is based in Texas, and he is not a sales coach. He is a coach for personal development. So when you want to be successful, for example, in sales, you must train your skill. That's what I do with Blair. And you must train your mind, because maybe you have limiting beliefs, maybe you have blockades, maybe you're sabotaging yourself. And then you have to work on yourself mentally. And that's what Raul does with me. And he talks about mindset, and he did so many coaching programs with me. And by the way, I have a podcast. You can find it on YouTube and Spotify, and you just have to look for Hardcore Sales. You can see it here. Just click on Spotify and or YouTube. And the last episode was, funnily enough, with Raul, where he was sharing his insights about mindset and giving really good tips. So you can listen to that, because that's free content. And they are the 2 who had the biggest impact on me. Always go with a coach and teacher, always. That's all I can say.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like yeah, we take suggestions most of the times from different people, but like if someone who is not expert on suggestion I am seeking is going to be a dangerous feedback, because like in most cases, like, the problem is here in Bangladesh, if say for example, if you are an expert on sales, in some way you have to communicate if you want to contribute to the community, that yeah, you do stuff like that, you do coaching or you do mentoring, then people will reach out to you. So the thing is here, people are very busy with their work, their life. I'm happy, I have I have money, I'm established in my life, that's it. But every single citizen has responsibilities to give something back to the community. It can be
100%.
time, it can be with information, it can be with knowledge. So that's what actually we are doing. School of Entrepreneurship Development, with this organization, we are trying to make information available, information resources available in our platform. Everything what we do are free.
Very good.
So workshops, webinars. So it's like we feel like it's our social responsibilities, because I studied in a public university. So it's like people's money. So it runs by tax getting from people. So we feel we are obliged, and we feel we are responsible to do something to our community, to give something back. So the thing is, this platform, what we have been trying to make it that to make information available, so that say for example, if someone wants or someone needs or looking for say for example a mentor, or this organization itself can work as a mentor for them. We provide free consultancy. With so many people, like guest speakers are here who is also who are also mentoring, who are interested. So the thing is, audience, like the students, they have to reach out to us, or people that say for example, if someone out of nowhere reaching out to you and say he or she is looking for a mentor or some suggestions, maybe if you're free in your free time, you will definitely, or in most cases, people will definitely reply and give their suggestion, because it's just 5 or 10 minutes. So the thing is, it's the thing that you mentioned, that yes, mentor is really important, and the right mentor is just like is like a blessing. So this point, I would like to ask you a very common question, which is, what are the skills of a good salesman? Say for example, if I want to go for sales job right now, what should I think? Should I consider that is there any prerequisite skill, or do I possess those, or anyone can start exploring sales job? What do you think about it?
Very good question. So there is a kind of a discussion between two parties. Like, people say you can learn sales, and some people are like, you can't learn, you are born. I say you can learn it, because I learned a lot. And I've seen people learning it. So I believe you can learn sales. That's a skill. Like, you can learn to play an instrument, you can learn to new sport, like you can play tennis, or you can learn how to drive the car, you can learn sales, right? So that's one thing you must understand. And then the second thing is, what are the skills? So I believe the most important skill is to be present. So you should be present. Like, when you're sitting down with a customer, you should be present. You should watch your customer. How are his reactions when you talk? What is he asking? What is he saying? What is he really saying? Like, what does he mean? What he's saying, what does that actually mean? Like, you have to be really present. That's one thing. And then second thing, I believe, is communication skill. You must be a master in communication. to understand, and
Just
sometimes
to
the
interrupt.
customer wants to do business with you, you want to do business, but there's so many hurdles in between. Like you
Just to I want to interrupt one
Yeah.
thing. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Sorry
no,
to
go
break your
ahead.
flow. This is a very important, just like I may have forgot. Master in communication. So can you like elaborate within like in brief what is communication? Like, so to me, just to point out, I'm feeling guilty for if I do something right and I'm not professionally, I'm not informing to my line manager, or if I see any anomaly or non-compliant activity, and to save someone, I am not sharing it with my line manager. But like in right time, I'm not communicating or sharing any information, or I'm not aligning my line manager, which he or she should have been informed. So as I'm not, communicate my the information at the right time. So, and maybe later on, he or she will know about it, and we'll have a trust issue. So, what do you think about what is communication skills to you? Just to sorry to break the flow.
Yeah, what is
communication
communication
skill? To you. How do you define it?
Yeah, I should pull up the dictionary from Knowledgeism, because they have the best definitions on all that type of stuff. I don't have it right now here. So from my understanding, communication skill is to be present, to listen carefully, to ask the right questions, and to inform and be in alignment with the other person. That's how I understand it. But I wish I had my dictionary here, the Knowledgeism dictionary, because it really gives you the full definition of everything so amazingly. Like, yeah. And I learned that the right definition of the word is so key to us understanding it, because it doesn't leave a room of interpretation. Like it says it's like so and so and this, that's what it means. I mean, it gives you obviously a little bit of interpretation, but you can't say, yeah, well, I'm not listening, and still because I'm watching you, it's communication. No, that's not how it works. So you must be in alignment with somebody else. And in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we say, like, if I communicate with you, and if you don't understand my message, it's not your fault. I have to adjust my communication in a way that you, as my target group, as my communication partner, understands. So it's my fault, my responsibility to own my skills.
Exactly. If, say, for example, if you speak and understand German, like you don't talk in English, speak in English, or you don't understand English, I have to translate it because there are tools there. I have to make it, understandable to you.
Correct.
In whichever way it's possible. That's why, like salesman is like a consultancy job, technically. If you like the very important point you mentioned, that a very good and sound product or solution knowledge. In most cases, people say, oh, I can sell this. So then they go and whenever, there are some maybe technical specification on information a potential client seeks, is like, okay, I'll let you know tomorrow. And that's the time that this customer, oh, no, he or she doesn't know about his product or her product. So yeah, I don't trust him, or I don't trust her. So the thing is, it's like being prepared. It's like, it's like operation theater. If there is anything, oh, if they start operating, so I forgot to, I forgot to, use the anesthesia, something like that. So also sales, that's the another thing. I'm just in maximum cases, I'm talking about, the perspective in Bangladesh. So just cope up with it. So the thing is, in most cases, people are like, okay, so if they think salesmanship, like I said, oh, I don't have to I don't have to have a very good knowledge. I don't have to study a lot. The thing is, one of my mentor, he actually once mentioned that people who study, who studied medical science or who are in medical college. The thing is, they have to study all through their life, most cases, because there are new disease, everything, new things are coming. So why not in sales? You are in sales. Why not we have to study? Why not you have to study? You know, the business landscape has been changing. So we have to also study continuously. There is salesmanship 2.0, there is 3.0, like it has been changing. The point is that according, what do you think about that? That if I don't study much, it's not about product or solution, it's about this profession. If I don't study regarding my profession, how to become great salesman, how can I serve my clients or my customers in the best way possible. So what do you think about it, the importance of study after finishing what you have been saying?
So there's one thing missing. I think communication, being present, and the third one was building up rapport. So your ability to build up a relationship, to establish trust between two people. Because if you can do this, you can sell, like building up trust. So that's one thing. The other thing, the other question was like commitment to lifelong learning, right? Was it commitment? So that's basically what you're saying.
Commitment, in a sense, is why not? In most cases, people study about their industry, their product, but why not about, it's in two perspectives, for professional sector and also personal point of view. Why not, like study on related to my profession? So for example, I'm in sales. Why not I study things related to my profession? Like here, so many people say it once. One of my supervisors once said, if you want to be a CEO, you have to be in sales. But later on, I realized it was completely bullshit.
What did he say? If you want to do what, you have to be in sales?
If I want to become a CEO, Chief Executive Officer in future, then I have to be in sales.
Yeah, well, I think what he meant was, have to know the ability how to sell. I think that's maybe what he meant. Yeah. Like you must have the ability to sell.
Yeah, in technically, yes, but it's not that. Being the top executive, it's not about sales. There's so many things he or she must know and possess, but the thing is, it's not entirely or religiously you must have to have in sales. You have to start in sales. It's not like so. Yeah. The thing is, the point is, I was misguided, but it was a blessing that I feel proud that I'm also in sales. So I feel proud that I started my career in sales. But yeah, the thing is, so the question I had is, if there is a commitment, or why not continuously study related to my profession?
Yeah, you must. That's the thing, you must, because everything is changing faster than ever before. Like we have social media who revolutionized our lives, totally transformed it. We have AI. We have so many things that are coming. We had COVID, lockdown, so many things that come that have a profound impact on our lives. And the jobs will go. Some professions will go. Industries will go. They will be wiped away with AI coming. So obviously, no matter what profession you are, you must be willing to study more. Like next week, I'm heading to India for 4 days because Blair is coming to India, so I can study with him 4 days. Like, even though I'm a teacher, I'm a professional, renowned companies come and seek my advice, I'm completely committed to lifelong studying, because I have to know how my industry is going if I want to be a leader. Otherwise, if I stay with the old school methods, some stuff will never change, right? So even though it's old school, it's like evergreen. It's always going to be modern. and it's going to always be like current. It's going to be evergreen. But so many things are coming. I changed so many things, like using AI. I have to understand this. So I'm not developing maybe my communication skill right now. I'm working on how to implement AI in my business. And then the next thing I'm doing is how can I present even better? So no matter what profession you are in, you have to keep on going to conferences, events, networking, to be up to date, to know what are the trends, what are people doing, what is the latest technology, what can I implement, how can I study this? You have to be up to date, 100%.
Definitely, you're right. So, according to what actually excites you the most regarding your profession?
Regarding my profession is like interacting with other people. It's a curse and a blessing at the same time. So some people just make you flip out. Like, do you have that type of customer you go like, you feel like I want to kill you. And then some customers are the most beautiful human beings. Like I literally love them. So I think that's the thing that I love most, is the interaction and being in the position to help and serve other people. I'm in the position of helping other people, and that's a blessing.
That's true. That's very true. And referring to the point, there are some companies here. Like sometimes, like whenever there is like this kind of creepy customers, like clients, that most of the times they try to avoid them. They are serving them, but not in a good way. They are not, like do the account management or take them as a key accounts. But isn't it it's the duty of responsibility of the salesperson to turn it into a good client? It's because maybe in there some points he or she is not developing or maintaining a good relationship, or maybe focusing on the right person there or right people, or maybe there is a gap in the communication. Maybe he or she, the client needs different communication. So what do you think about that? And maybe there are so many huge potential of grow the business or expand the business there.
Yes and no. So it's your responsibility as a sales rep to manage the communication, handle the relationship in a way that is really beautiful and nice, and ideally very professional, and you have a good basis. However, there are a type of customers, no matter what you do, no matter how you talk to them, no matter how you show up, no matter what you say or do, they're just like weird. Like, you can't just handle them. It's like the type of personality. We have these type of, I don't have them personally, because with hardcore sales, with my own company, I have a big filter. Like, I would only work with you if you're honest, if you're cool, if you're like a good human being, if you are good-hearted. Obviously your business must kind of have the potential to grow, so I can work with you. But for me, the person must be of integrity. But I work with large corporates. The managers are good. Some of the sales reps are really amazing. But then they have customers, they're really not able to handle the customer. It's not because of the sales rep. It's because the customer is just not, you can't just handle that person. It's like they have a rude behavior. They are like totally impolite. They always yell at the salesperson. It's like, it's difficult sometimes. And the good thing is this doesn't happen that much. It only happens once, and like you have 100 customers, so 200 customers, and one is like that. It's like, yeah, okay, but I have 99 other customers who are like really beautiful. It should be the responsibility of the sales rep to handle that. And it is, but some customers, you can't handle them, I believe.
True. Maybe, the cases for different people are different. So, And another thing is, I would like to ask about, can you share the impact, according to you, hardcore sales, your organization has been creating in the customers or in the community? What
Yes.
are the
So
impacts?
yes. So if you go on my website, actually, I have shared the community testimonials, like on my website, hardcoresales.com. You see the testimonials. It's a lot in German because I started off with the German market and I don't have many English testimonials yet because we have not translated. But here's the thing, like the impact is, it's for every customer is different because, as you said, the cases are sometimes different. Like some people grow on a personal level a lot. Some people, like I had a young lady, she works in a sales company with about 56 sales reps. 56 sales reps. After the training, she became number 3. And the moment she called me, she said, I'm going for number 1. I want to be number 1 in this organization. And then obviously, like some small companies who managed to establish. And then some large corporates who made like 5, 6, 7, 8-figure pipelines. So every case is different. Some companies, just make a lot of money. Some companies, they just want to, because they're small, they want only 1 or 2 more customers. And some people just grow a lot on a personal level. So the cases are different, but I make sure that my customers win.
Yeah.
Because I want them to win. I qualify them really in a good way. Like when a company asks me, are you willing to be our coach and train us? I qualify them. I ask so many questions and I kind of want to see I can make them win. And then I take the project because then I know there will be a change, a positive change. That's the minimum.
Great. Very good to know. So we are almost at the end of our session. So the last question from our end is, can you share some common skills university students should develop before graduation so that they can explore professional sector after graduating? Because most cases, if they don't develop or build some skills, some like common skills before graduation, after graduation they have to face some like frustrating situation because to get a job is not that easy. It takes time. So if you can suggest some skills they can develop while studying in university, so that would be helpful for them after graduation.
Yes. So there are 3 skills that are very important for the future. So the old school way was study, get a job, and stay there until you receive your pension. So that was the old school way. New school is skills only. You get paid based on skills. And there are only 3, 4 skills that will become even more important. One skill is marketing. And you can easily learn that online, right? There's so many marketing courses and so on. Marketing, online marketing. Why? Because it generates leads. So sales can close. Second skill is leadership. So leadership, because we live in uncertain times, people look for other people who are strong.
Exactly.
To guide them. So leadership skills are important. Then the third skill, which will become even more important, is sales. Because even though when AI comes and new technologies come, somebody has to sell this to somebody. So sales will become more important. And all the jobs around IT, I believe, like coding, programming, all these type of things will become even more important. And these are all skills that you can learn, by the way. So I think if you choose one, let's say you are studying, like if you're studying IT, well, yeah, then you're good to go, actually. But if you study something around business and you go with sales or marketing, and you can practice that, you can make an internship, you can practice, you can work as a working student in a big company. well, then you're good to go, I believe.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, like these expert people like you, and when it, especially on sales, it takes hours, and sometimes, like 1 day, 2 day, or week-long sessions, seminars on that. But we have a time limitation. But within that time frame, we try to share as much information as possible. But to sum up, I believe that whoever is going to watch this session, they will not only listen it and watch it, they also will start practicing it. That what we would love to convey our message regarding this, and they would definitely learn something from you, because it's something different as stories from where you come. And on behalf of our School of Entrepreneurship Development, we wish you success, a lot of success ahead, and best of luck for hardcore sales, what they're doing. And yeah, also let's see what we can do in the near future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me, and to all the people who watched it and who were listening. I wish you also a lot of success and good luck on your way. And please reach out. Please connect me on LinkedIn. You find me on LinkedIn with my name, Lili Mizani, or you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, or YouTube with Hardcore Sales. Please send me a like or a connection so we are connected, and drop me your feedback. I hope you choose our profession of sales and become very successful. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you.